Next at 7, new details released in the arrest of 3 daycare workers in a local city. How police say the place of care became a culture of violence. A state of emergency issued in a local county as the unusual dry stretch continues. What firefighters want you to know as conditions worsen.
Tonight's primetime lineup on WESH 2 is sponsored by Orlando Health ERs. Ready for any emergency with multiple locations across Central Florida. Visit orlandohealth.com/ER.
WESH 2 News starts now with breaking news.
Right now at 7 o'clock, this is breaking news happening in Melbourne Beach.
You are looking at a manatee rescue operation underway right now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Alan Campbell.
And I'm Nancy Alvarez. Yeah, we know normally you're waking up with us, but we're back with you for all of tonight's top stories, including that breaking news in Brevard County.
And Nancy crews have been working for hours to free a manatee stuck in a storm drain. Chopper 2 with the only aerial view of the scene, which continues to unfold right now.
All right, WESH 2's Haley Crumblehome is at the scene with first responders right now. And Haley, you have the very latest.
Yeah, so this is definitely a multi-step approach here to save this manatee. Now, you can see right now they have this excavator trying to dig up the road here, Riverview Lane, I believe it's called. This is where they're trying to get to that manatee. Now, earlier tonight, we saw them lower a man, I believe with Brevard County Fire Rescue, into this manhole in a harness. Now, as soon as he got out, they started drilling around that manhole. They seem to be trying to create a larger space to try and lift that manatee out. Now, this has been going on for hours. They've got Brevard County Fire Rescue, police, Florida Fish and Wildlife. There's members of the Department of Public Works. Everyone is out here trying to get this manatee out. Now, we spoke with a town commissioner here in Melbourne Beach. They told me that there was survey work being done, and that's actually how they found this stuck manatee. Now, that commissioner said they did have an emergency meeting today to approve funds in case there was damage to the road. And based on this excavator growing at the ground right now, we know there is going to be some considerable damage to this road. Now, at this point, it's unclear how long it could take to get this manatee out, but the commissioner said the goal is to do this all safely. Now, we're going to be out here watching. We're going to be here as long as it takes. So as soon as we have any updates, we're going to bring that to you on air and online at WESH.com. Covering Brevard County live in Melbourne Beach, Haley Crumblehome, WESH 2 News.
Oh, my goodness. And Haley, we'll be checking in with you for updates. Wow. Yeah. All right, late this afternoon, Apopka police gave us their final update from an investigation into 2 deaths at a general store.
And police say the adult siblings died in a murder-suicide. WESH 2's Justin Checker says the community was anxious and wanted answers.
A family of 4 found dead in their own home, and the culprit believed to be carbon monoxide. Their bodies were found last week.
WESH 2's Lindsay Sablon talked to loved ones of the family and has important safety reminders everyone needs to hear.
And the medical examiner will confirm carbon monoxide is the official cause, but the sheriff's office says no foul play is suspected here. That is just awful. All right. Now to the very latest developments in the search for Nancy Guthrie, who disappeared from her Tucson home more than a week ago. Her daughter took to Instagram for the 4th time now, pleading for help to find her mom.
We believe our mom is still out there. We need your help.
Investigators believe the 84-year-old mother of Today Show anchor Savannah Guthrie was taken from her home against her will 9 days ago. The Pima County Sheriff's Department said the investigation is ongoing in multiple locations, and they will guard the 84-year-old's home at the request of her family.
In the background, nothing stops. They're still getting leads, they're still getting tips, and they still have their own investigative avenues where they're learning a bit more each day as they dig into this.
So far, no suspects or persons of interest have been identified. Authorities are still asking for tips and information. Well, state auditors are expected to be in Daytona Beach by early next month to start their investigation into the city's finances. This comes after Senator Tom Wright requested a review following long-standing concerns about the city's handling of public money. The main issues here involve the millions of dollars the city has accumulated in building permit revenues. Auditors will also examine more recent concerns, including questionable spending on city-issued credit cards. Recent investigations into the city's car allowance policies and its golf course have already revealed some problems. The state audit is expected to be done by December.
Happening right now, Maitland City Council is meeting to discuss safety concerns over e-bikes and scooters. There are a number of recent deaths and injuries from accidents involving both e-bikes and scooters. There's also a bill right now in Tallahassee that could establish new requirements for e-bikes. Now, the current proposal is to limit speeds to no more than 10 miles per hour on sidewalks and also areas where pedestrians are within 50 feet. The bills would also create a task force to recommend improvements. This week, Florida's legislative session is reaching its halfway point and lawmakers will begin discussing the state's budget. The Senate will send its spending plan to the committee on Thursday. The House Budget Committee is expected to meet tomorrow afternoon.
NASA wants to wait another day to send the next crew to the International Space Station. The Crew 12 launch has been moved from Wednesday to Thursday due to weather forecasted along the flight path. Launch is now no earlier than 5:38 Thursday morning from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. WESH 2, of course, will bring you live coverage on sunrise. A United Launch Alliance Vulcan rocket also set to lift off on Thursday. It will deliver a national security spacecraft into orbit for the U.S. Space Force. Launch is set for 3:30 a.m. on Thursday.
Right now, Artemis 2 teams are still working to determine what caused a fuel leak during last week's wet dress rehearsal. So we know that technicians replaced 2 seals in an area that saw high hydrogen gas concentrations. Engineers are now analyzing those seals and also developing plans to address any further issues. Crews plan to reconnect rocket and ground side interface plates today. NASA is also updating several operations for its next wet dress rehearsal to focus on things like fueling activities. The agency is still hoping to launch the Artemis 2 mission sometime in March.
Ghislaine Maxwell was scheduled to testify for Congress, but the frustration for her answer or lack thereof. We're going to have much more on that. Tony.
And Nancy, afternoon highs today in central Florida in the low 70s, but look off towards the west. They were in the 80s. We are going to be very close to 80 tomorrow. I'm breaking that down for you straight ahead.
All right, and we want to take you back out to that breaking news in Melbourne Beach. You are looking at a live shot from Chopper 2 of a rescue operation underway right now to save a manatee stuck in a storm drain. We're, of course, staying on this scene and continue to bring you updates. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Hard Rock Bet.
All right, we want to get you back to that breaking news in Melbourne Beach right now. Take a look at this massive operation underway right now. Pretty unbelievable scene. An excavator being used to rescue a manatee stranded in a storm drain.
Yeah, you can see that excavator there tearing up some of the road or what's going on there. Our crews continue to watch nearby. We have a crew there live right now. They're working to get more information. Of course, we'll stay there on the scene and bring you any new updates as soon as we get them.
Taking a look at some other headlines tonight, Jeffrey Epstein co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell pleaded the fifth in a virtual deposition this morning. The House Oversight Committee subpoenaed Maxwell to testify about her and Epstein's crimes and their possible collaborators in an alleged sex trafficking ring. According to committee chair James Comer, she invoked her Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. Republicans and Democrats on the committee say by refusing to answer questions, Maxwell is holding back justice for the young women and girls that she and Epstein abused.
The fact that this woman is continuing to invoke the Fifth Amendment tells us exactly what my colleagues have already stated. She is a monster. She does not care. She has no remorse. She is not seeking to bring about some kind of closure for these women. She doesn't care. And frankly, it seems like this administration overall does not care. All they care about is protecting the powerful.
Comer said the panel still has 5 more depositions scheduled as part of its probe, including with former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and former President Bill Clinton. Maxwell's hearing comes the same day an unredacted version of the Justice Department's files on Epstein became available for members of Congress to review. All of this is part of the Epstein Files Transparency Act signed into law last year. Police say a man now in custody was just a one-man wrecking crew in downtown Orlando. Jean Charmant is in jail facing a dozen counts of criminal mischief.
Yeah, you can see all of this vandalism right here. WESH 2 News investigative reporter Greg Fox says police believe all of this vandalism will cost roughly $70,000. Right now, Charmant is still in the Orange County Jail on a $20,000 bond. He'll be arraigned in a few weeks.
All right, bringing in the chief now to take a look at that forecast. I missed you so much.
Hang on a second. I got to make sure I'm releasing.
I said I have to come do the 7 p.m. This guy.
2 weeks, huh?
2 weeks, yeah, man.
You gonna be okay with that? 2 weeks with us?
Come on in. We got room for everybody. All right. Hey, let me take you back outside, folks. We have a lot to talk about, a lot going on this week. Of course, we've got lots of racing. We got Valentine's. We got the 500, and some folks are on for President's Day on Monday. So the coastal 7-day forecast does have a couple sprinkles in late Thursday and Friday. Nice and warm on Saturday. And then Sunday, we're going to be watching the timing of this front such that if it gets in later, that's been the trend today, we can get the race in rain-free. We need the rain. We want the rain, but we don't want it during the race. Let's take a look at what's going on. Here's feature here, another feature here. So we'll take its sweet time, go up and over this ridge, and then drop on in late this week. Here locally right now, just a few clouds up to the north, a bit of a breeze there on the Tampa side. 12-hour forecast now here in Orlando. Could be a little bit of patchy fog, ground fog there out the door at 7 a.m. and a little bit of patchy frost up on the rooftops here in Marion County, where yet once again temperatures will drop into the mid and upper 30s to the lower 40s. You get to Sumterville, Leesburg on south and east. Not worried about frost there. It's just too warm. Downtown Orlando around 50. Up and down the coast you can see 40s. But on the sand there in Brevard County, 50 to 55 degrees. Let's take a look now at that setup. High pressure overhead tomorrow begins to slide to the east. You get that return south flow, southwesterly flow on the backside of high pressure, and voila, things begin to warm on up. Mid-70s at the beaches, nearing 80 back through the interior. Now that setup has that high getting pushed down to the south as the front kind of backs on in. That may give us certainly clouds, but it may give us a couple light sprinkles late Thursday on into Friday. I don't think it's going to hamper any of the races, but we'll watch the trends on that because they do change from day to day. Let's get into some of the races now, shall we? The America 250 duel at Daytona, 59, 57, and 56. Just a couple clouds around. Fresh from Florida 250. Could be an isolated shower along the coast for this one. Of course, we'll keep you posted. Check back in daily. And as we take a look now at the weekend, we're good in the morning on Sunday. Both of the models start to bring the rain as we get into the late day time frame. Think after 6 o'clock and then overnight tonight. That scenario would bode well for the race and would give us some rain as we go into Sunday night and early Monday morning before things begin to clear on out. Rainfall amounts, not a lot, but at least the Euro has a hint of a little bit more up to the north. We'll watch the trends on that. The races for the weekend go as such. The United Rental 300, 67, 65, 62. I like this forecast the best. Warm and cozy there. And then for the 500, clouds thickening on up throughout the day and a couple of showers arriving towards the evening hours. Let's go ahead and put this all together here for you one more time. The inland 7-day forecast now, 75 to 81 right through Sunday. Behind that front for President's Day, just a scotch cooler coming in at about 75.
This First Warning Weather Update is sponsored by attorney Dan Newlin.
All right, we want to get you back to this breaking news in Melbourne Beach. Just an unbelievable scene playing out here. Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission responded to this scene here in Brevard County where an adult manatee is confirmed to be stuck inside a storm drain.
Yeah, right now these are live pictures that we're getting right now, kind of coming in and out. This is from Chopper 2. This is a live look right now on a previous video, actually, of crews out there cutting the road. You can see, and that excavator earlier was taking that road apart where they try to get to that manatee, again, stuck in that storm drain. The crews have been out there for hours so far. We know that a crew member was actually lowered into that hole there, went down under the ground, and that's when the crew member was able to see the manatee there. Right now, crews don't know just how long the manatee has been trapped in this storm drain, but again, they are working right now to free it. Again, this is video from earlier on when crews were out there kind of cutting the road apart there. They brought that excavator out there and they started tearing that road apart. Haley Crumbleholm is live there on the scene. She had mentioned earlier at the top of the hour that the commissioners are giving an approval to make sure that any damage done out there can be paid for, and also that they will make any type of repairs that are necessary. But again, we don't know how long this manatee has been trapped in this storm drain. Crew's been working for several hours trying to get to it and trying to free it.
All right, our producer is actually here in the studio with us because I don't think my mic is on now. Yep, our producer's here in the studio with us. I don't know if you heard me talking to him, but I'm trying to, really understand exactly where this is happening. This is in the area of Neptune Drive in Melbourne Beach. It appears to be a parking lot there, but I don't remember if Haley Crumbleholm said it was a gas station or a shopping center. There's a gas station very near to where this is happening. So if you live out there in Brevard County, you're wondering, okay, where in Melbourne Beach? It's Neptune Drive near Oak Street. It looks like it's just south of Rock Harbor Church where this is happening. So we are obviously going to stay on this scene as those crews continue to work.
Yeah, and hopefully, we'll get a much more clearer idea of exactly where this is to let you know where you can expect maybe some delays or even maybe detours in that area while they work to get that manatee free from that storm drain.
All right. Yes, and of course, we're going to have coverage for you again tonight at 10 and 11. Right now, let's give you a look at the schedule ahead here on WESH 2, 7:30. In just a few minutes, WESH 2 Olympic Zone, and then prime time at the Olympics at 8 o'clock.
Also, be sure to tune in Tuesday morning to catch us on WESH 2 News Sunrise. We'll get you out the door with the biggest stories of the day, plus the weather and traffic you need to start your day. Wake up with Nancy, myself, Eric, and Megan starting at 4:30 tomorrow morning.
We'll see you in the morning. Have a great night.